Okay, hey everybody, how you doing? Getting some questions on flying crank ghosts that I made last year. Basically, I followed another video on YouTube to get the general idea, but you just start with a skull of any kind. This is just a cheap plastic skull from the dollar store. And in the other video that I followed, they just used coat hangers. So the first one is just more or less left intact. They straightened the top out, poked it through the head, and then tied it over so you can see the loop, so something to tie off to. Then they basically tied off those ends of the coat hanger, pinched them and kind of rounded them. I tied them off so the coat hanger wouldn't slide through. That's not necessary, but I find it helps. And then cut off a couple lengths of extra coat hanger and make arms, if you will. And down here's the forearm. Same idea, just attached and put together. So basically that's your marionette puppet. Okay. So that's basically how you make that part. It's very simple. It takes about, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes, if that, to make it. Then you make the motor and the frame, which I'll show you next. Now, I can't get the frame all on the video in one shot, so basically it's a large T. So you buy these loop fasteners at any hardware store. You got these Home Depot, and your lines thread through there. So basically, you make yourself a T. I can't recall my exact dimensions, but I think it's going to depend on where you're going to hang this thing, because mine's a little bit long in some places. So basically you make a T, one loop on the end, one loop in the center, and another loop. The chain you see before you is just to mount it to my yeast draft. And then coming down to the center section, there's another loop, and in my situation I drilled a hole where I mount. I've used a barbecue rotisserie motor and half of the shaft for that. I also had to, if you're using a barbecue motor, it'll fall out. So I've drilled and cotter pinned the shaft and the motor so it won't fall out. I'll flip it over and show you how it looks from the top side. Okay, so just a basic. I think I paid, back when I got this motor, was $20. It's about the right speed. It's pretty slow. So you plug it in. Okay, flip it over to try to show you. And this shaft assembly starts to turn. You tie off your lines to the 3 different holes. I'm in the sun here, so I'm trying to move with your fishing line. And one line goes to each hand and the head. So as the shaft turns, it pulls or releases tension on the various strings, which cause the puppet to move up and down. So I will turn on the motor and just show you the shaft turning. So basically, there it goes. It's moving. Not really too exciting to watch, but I will string the puppet up, and I'll see if I can get you some footage on that next.